So, slacking as a Pokemon kind of sucks. You're pretty much never going to see it in a serious competitive setting, not high ladder, certainly not high rank VGC anytime soon. And even then you'll probably only ever see it because it's being carried by really hard and very specific stuff like Grip II or something. Like here we see it in unofficial singles, Smogon and all that, all the way down in ZU. Or I mean that's for Sun and Moon though. Like Scarlet and Violet, I'm pretty sure you yeah, they don't even have sets for it. It's way down which means it's way down there as far as tiering goes. Like this thing used to be decent once upon a time, Ruby and Sapphire at least. When Protect was a lot less I guess of an issue. Ruby Sapphire was peak in terms of team build variety, but then everything for it just went downward after this. I don't know why after the physical special split and Diamond Pearl, but it's just not good, and it hasn't been for a long time. Like if you're playing the game casually, yeah, it can be good, it can be great, especially in Ruby and Sapphire and certain games that, you know, allow you to have it. But that doesn't really mean much in a casual setting. Lots of bad Pokemon are okay or good in casual. That's kind of what makes a lot of your choices not really matter, because the game is easy. If you want to play the game with skill, which the only option you have for that is the competitive format, then you're just gonna suffer if you use this thing. People like playing with skill and playing hardcore, and I'm one of those people. Maybe if this game had actual post-game contents and bosses, so you could use your favorite monsters in more meaningful ways, besides the battle tower, and the stat maxing didn't suck so hard so you can actually play the game, then yeah, you'd have a lot more freedom to have fun with Pokemon you like. It's pretty much overlapped to hell by things like Kangaskhan and Stoutland, as pointed out by Sun and Moon's ZPU meta. Being able to lose a turn for no reason is just not good. Even if your stats are just amazing, turns are just way too important in Pokemon. That's why things like Paraflinch are just so great. And Slaking is one of my favorite Pokemon, so seeing it just continue to be bad, it annoys me. And that's why I appreciate Yokai Watch 3 so much. Because in Yokai Watch 3, they basically made Slaking a joke 3 times over, and I'm gonna explain why that is. Starting with this guy, Slumberhog. He's a rare D-rank. He's a rare, but you can get him pretty easily. And the thing about Yokai Watch 3's stat spreads at level 60 is that they scale pretty similarly to Pokemon, where base 100 uninvested is good, and the closer you get to 200 is amazing. And the stat spreads I'm showing are going to be all after Sports Center investment, by the way. So these are the best possible stats for how you would want to be investing them. And HP stats from 300 onward, they're a lot more generous with HP stats in Yokai Watch 3. The closer you get to 400, the more incredible and top tier that HP stat is. Average HP stat would be 250-ish. So anyway, and this thing's a D rank, and its strength stat hitting that nice clean 200. And its skill, Fast Sleep, doesn't take an action for 1 to 2 turns. This is arguably worse than Truant. With Slaking, you're guaranteed not gonna be doing anything every other turn. This guy, not only is it guaranteed you're not gonna do everything every other turn, but it can also activate twice in a row where he's just not going to do anything. It's worse. He's just gonna sit there and not attack or not do anything either half the time or 2/3 of the time. That's terrible. And yet this lowly little D rank, like D being the second lowest rank in the game, and yet this guy is like I think it's like top 20 for strength. Like 200 is way up there. Like that's super high. Not just for D rank, but for like a yokai in general. There are A ranks and S ranks that don't even come close to 200. And this guy is one of them. And his stat spread is kind of close to Slaking's, bar the very atrocious speed at 21 at level 16. And also the bad magic or spirit at 32, while Slaking has that respectable 100-ish. Or 95. Decent defense, though. And that's for Slumberhog, anyway. Brave Tribe, too, so, like, you can, like, build to boost physical attack or damage for that. Next up, Lionheart. Also very Slaking-esque. Same skill. Doesn't take an action 1 to 2 turns. 260 strength after investment. HP is kind of average-ish. Defense, pretty okay. Really good speed. Also bad spirit. But like 260, I'm pretty sure this is like third highest in the game, just behind, what was it, Brutal and Ancient Enma. Like, that's like really good strength. This guy is mostly, I'll go over their sets in a bit, but that's Lionheart. And then you have this guy who I guess would probably be the closest to Slaking stat-wise out of the three. Really good HP, 353. Dragon, B rank Slippery, and Lionheart, A rank Brave. Dragon, like pretty high up their HP. Pretty bad strength, 46. 244 spirit. I'm pretty sure this is like top 10 as far as magic attackers in the game. He hits really hard. And that's especially good because like magic attacks just ignore defense on damage calculation. So like even when he actually gets around to actually doing something, he's going to hit really, really hard. Pretty high up their defense, like sort of like Slaking, like around 111. And pretty good speed, 93. And I'm pretty sure that's like after the full spirit investment, because spirit investment lowers your speed by like 10 points. If it wasn't for the extra 25 points in spirit, you'd be like around 100-ish, 103 speed, close to Slaking on that speed tier. And like, did you notice, while we were going through these, did you notice anything about these three yokai? One thing that they all have in common, besides the really bad skill, obviously, they all have double item slots. Every single one of these can hold 2 items. And that's really, really good, especially in Yokai Watch 3. If Pokemon were to give Slaking the benefits of being able to hold 2 items, that would at least offset a lot of its weaknesses. Like you could run Choice Band and Choice Scarf, Assault Vest Leftovers, Lumberry, and Heavy Duty Boots. There's a lot of applications for that. But unfortunately, the reality is Slaking has to hold 1 item like everyone else. These guys have a good amount of extra applications because they have double item slots, and items are especially good in Yokai Watch. Like, I would argue items are a lot stronger in Yokai Watch than they are in Pokemon. Like, there are only a select few items that are actually worth using in a lot of cases in the grand scheme of things. There's more useful soul gems and items in Yokai Watch than there are in Pokemon. Let's just put it that way. And so the way these guys are used, mostly, like Slumberhog is often used carrying a shielding soul that makes a guard whenever it switches in or moves, and a Blowness Tapa soul in the other slot, because Blowness Tapa soul makes it so that it cuts magic damage in half while it's guarding. So now it can basically act as a really, really good tank, especially against magic attacker teams, and with its decent HP and decent defense, it can tank a lot. And plus, it's a D rank, so that makes it easy to fit on the team. And that makes its ultimate charge really fast. And its ultimate is a physical attack that covers a column. Hitting with that, coming off that 200 strength, a ultimate like that's going to hit really, really hard. Lionheart, with its double item slot, is more often used as like a suicide lead. It usually carries like crummy mummy soul gems to so like whenever something defeats it, it's pretty much just gonna hit really hard back. The way revenge damage works is it basically does a 100 power physical attack that I'm pretty sure never misses, and like 100 off of his physical attack move is not bad, and like since he has double item slots, like it'll activate. He can equip 2 crummy mummy soul gems, and both of them will activate one after another, hitting the opponent with that 100 base power revenge damage attack, and like it can kill a lot of things. Like it can kill wall breakers and really good attackers that can. Like it pretty much doesn't have to attack because like you're pretty much always trading something of high value for like something you're basically using as a lead. Now Dragon here is probably the best of the 3, I would argue. It has a lot of applications. Its magic attack and ultimate covers the first 2 rows, so it has really good coverage, and coming off that high spirit stat, ice damage too, it can hurt a lot of stuff. Really good, way better HP than the other 2, plus the good defense. It could run a Blowness Tapa Soul plus Shielding Soul like Slumberhog. Slumberhog has a slight advantage for that, because like by default, it's resistant to fire, which is really good against Solar Enma teams. Dragon is ice, so that means it can at least help against ice hazard and ice magic teams, but against fire magic teams like Solar Enma, it's going to struggle more. You know, unless you carry Mython, then it completely turns that matchup on its head, and now. Like, if a Solar Enma team seems a Blowness Tapa Soul, Shielding Soul, Dragon, and Mython on the opposing team, like, then Solar Enma is just dead weight. And that's just one application for Dragon. Like, you have things like, it also has, like, in Spirit teams with, what's it called? Dr. Nocturne. Yeah, Dr. Nocturne, where it can carry 2 items that basically do a debuff and damage the opponent for hitting it physically, because damage from debuffs under Dr. Nocturne count as a magic attack, and with that high spirit, that's going to be really hurting a lot. And so yeah, you're pretty much, these guys, you'll pretty much regularly see them in a lot of high ladder, high-end, super meta Yokai Watch 3 matches, and you're never really going to see that from Slaking unless... And to further prove my point with that, we're pretty much going to be going through a play-by-play with a video by Mitake. I'll be linking the video down in the description so you can watch it for yourself and see what's going on. But I'll do my best to better explain what exactly is going on here. Now, and the thing about this team is that using Slaking like over any Pokemon that can actually like do things on its turn would be a detriment over like better normal physical attackers, like I said, like Kangaskhan. And here's the thing about this team he's going to show off. Mitake is using all 3 of them. Like, this would be like probably if Species Clause wasn't a thing in Pokemon, this would be like using 3 different Slaking sets on a single team. But like, I guess the closest you could compare it to is like using Regigigas, Slaking, and Archeops all on a team together. Half your team in Pokemon, that would be like half your team being absolutely useless deadweight. Oh, and yeah, he also like used Prestigious Treasure to like boost his Dragon up to like an even higher stat spread. And that's fun. That's the funny thing. A funny thing about these guys' stat spreads is that In Yokai Watch 2, all three of their stat spreads weren't actually that good. They were actually pretty average for their ranks. In Yokai Watch 3, they beefed up their stats immensely. They basically took the Slaking approach, where they all the more, where they have amazing stats, but they keep the bad skill. It was a really huge buff for all of them, and one that really worked out in their favor because of how viable they are in Yokai Watch 3 metagame. He's running Dumb Cop for to boost the, obviously to like boost the magic attacks of guys like the what's it called, Bitter Batter, like the Bitter Batter on his team, and of course he's got Bishamonten. They're also there to help against Solorenma. Cyclical imbalance and anti-meta and all that. That's the word, anti-meta. Bishamonten's very anti-meta. Solorenma's good, so Bishamonten, with its skill that makes it so it boosts its strength and is immune to fire damage, is by proxy good. And even things like Bitter Batter here, which also like love to use fire hazard damage and powerful fire magic attacks, but also like just like not want to see Bishamonten on the opposing team. Like if you're building for fire, you don't want to see Bishamonten or Salty Bacon. All right, so right now we got like a Crummy Mummy, whom I covered in the last video, and this guy lapping it up. Him and Greasel are sort of like I'll probably make a video on them in the future. They're basically if Snatch Weavile was actually good. But of course, Snatch Weavile isn't good, and that's why you'll never see Weavile run Snatch. See that? He just stole the Dumb Cop's buff. Like, he can't really use it like Greasel can, but like lapping it up's a really good brave physical attacker, so just really nice support to have around. And so we got a bomb in play already from see that? Dragon did absolutely nothing there. Like, that's actually another really great thing about the Shielding Soul, is like, because like the user has absolutely no choice but to guard even after switching or moving. Like, that pretty much all kind of gets around skills like theirs, because it makes them take an action regardless of their skill. It's sort of like if Pokemon actually had some kind of item that would allow the user to like ignore their own abilities, or like or something like Galarian Wheezing. And so the Crummy Mummy went down, and as you can see, it did a lot of revenge damage to the Lionheart, but it looks like it was pretty much carrying a 1 HP soul, so it can survive that. And I guess it's like I'm guessing he has like the other soul gem be a revenge damage one, so like when it gets defeated, it can just pick something off. So he switches in. So anyway, the opponent switches into the Jack-Komasan to. Oh, okay. I actually didn't know that. That's actually really funny. Okay, so like what happened here? I'll probably also make a video on this in the future. Jack-Komasan clears hazards, and I guess the bomb is an object that counts as a hazard. So like, this is my first time seeing this, so that's funny. It just cleared out the bomb and got rid of it. That's actually a really great application for Jack-Komasan. For not just clearing hazards, but like bombs like that. That's hilarious. Okay. And there we go. Like that ultimate from that magic attack from Dragon did a pretty big chunk even when it finally got to act. So anyway, the user switched into their Bitter Batter. Bitter Batter doesn't mind taking damage, because like the more damage it takes, the harder its magic attacks are going to hit, and that includes its hazards. It's pretty much proportional to its HP. Like the closer it gets to 1 HP, the closer it gets to like 200% and to like a 200% modifier on its magic attacks. And because it's a hazard ultimate, it charges really, really fast, so he's already got it full and ready to go. And there we go. See the potential dead weight, them not doing anything. Another fucking bomb. That's funny. I guess the opponent will probably use his yeah, he'll pretty much want to save his Giacomo-san movements to like clear out all these bitter batter hazards and the bomb. But then we see the switch out to the Slumber Hog. Yeah, there we go. All the hazards gone and the bomb too. Bit of a slowdown. Movement to... Okay, that's Charged Soul on the Humi. It's trying to fire off some powerful magic attacks. What's Slumber Hog not doing anything? And here we get to see the Dragon's ultimate coming into play. It was worth it. Like, see all that tile coverage? That's like really... I can, like, Giacomo-san fire, so it's gonna be resistant to it, but it's still gonna take a chunk because of... Do you see that? That's like 209. That's like really big. I'm pretty sure like if the Giacomo-san takes another hit, it's gonna die. Humi gets its ultimate off. I'm pretty sure. I'm not entirely sure, but I think okay, so that was actually pretty like and now that was actually pretty cool. So like as we can see here, Slumber Hog pretty poised at the ready with its own ultimate. Let me go back on that real quick. Like I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure like Slumber Hog is taking reduced damage from the ultimates too, because the ultimates are magic and because of its soul gem. I think that's how it works. I'm not entirely sure, but anyway, Slumber Hog goes for the ultimate, and that is a dead Meopatra. That was that. Oh yeah, this team has a Brave Tribe unity from the Slumber Hog, the Lionheart, and the Bishamonten, so that's gonna hit. So its strength is buffed by an extra 10%. So that it looks like that was more than enough to like take out the Meopatra. I don't think it took any previous damage before that. Let me check again. Yeah, the Meopatra. Let's see. Okay, so the Meopatra comes in. Moves. It avoids this ultimate from the dragon, but now it's in the position to take a fast-charging D-Rank's ultimate from the Slumber Hog, and it's in wait time now, so it can't avoid or switch. Oh, and like I don't think the opponent I guess the opponent was charging its ultimate, so they didn't want to switch out. And yeah, it looks like that was like just a full knockout from HP. Like a Slaking Giga Impact, except actually viable and usable in this situation. Anyway, now that the lapping it up's gone, like the dumb cop can share its buffs easily. Slumber Hog once again not doing anything. And the Giacomo-san goes down. Okay, he had a Repossessor in the back. I'm not sure why they didn't use that sooner. Repossessor is like really good for locking away actions. I guess he didn't want to like waste it if he felt he didn't need to. Hey, anyway, the Bitter Batter ultimate comes into play. More fire hazards. No Giacomo-san. Massive damage because it's on pretty low HP. Bitter Batter with Shielding Soul or with 1 HP Soul. Yeah, they're Dragon, once again, not doing anything. Like, his whole team didn't do anything. Half his team didn't do anything and still was able to pull through. Like, pretty easily, too. Like, it's not a single knockout against for 6-0'd. That's a pretty good 6-0'd against in high 6-0 with half a Slaking team in high ladder. That's amazing. Anyway, okay, this team. Now this is gonna be a pretty annoying physical attacker team. Umbral, Enma, double Machonyan, some pretty unga bunga hyper offense that gets stronger the more of the opponents get defeated. Like if plus like there's no this right now we don't this player Mitake doesn't have any decidable or ancient enma to like get a priority attack on 1 HP so he skills. So like they're gonna survive a lot, and they're gonna like like that did a lot. Like yeah, Slumberhog is bulky, but it can only take, but like any tank in Yokai Watch 3, it can only like take so much damage, especially in like against these front row hyper offensive physical attacker teams that just do some really massive combo damage. Okay, there goes the Crummy Mummy died, but that was good for their team because now Umbral Enma's skill goes off, boosting its strength and spirit because now ally or enemy was defeated. And here we see Dragon taking all 3 of that revenge damage like a champ because it's so fat and has so much HP to work with. And there's another Crummy Mummy. Once again, half the team not doing anything, while the other team is just being able to lay out some powerful physical attacks. And Umbral Enma does his thing again. There goes the Bishamoten. Okay, and there's a BB Cubel. Now they're really in it for the long game now. I guess he was okay. Umbral like getting stronger again because the dumb cap went down. And now I guess he at least now because the fast charging ultimate, Bitter Batter gets to use its ultimate and it'll probably force movements. Okay, good. It got one of the front rows, and plus with those hazards on the board, because that team is like so focused on like the front row for the high physical attack power and extra combo damage, like that basically makes it free reign for Dragon's ultimate to cover them, because like one of those situations where board movement and ultimate coverage comes really well into play, especially with Dragon because it hits so hard, and the hazard, and of course the hazards from the Bitter Batter. Here we go. That was both the BB Cubel and the Machonyan down. Like usually it's like the thing about BB Cubel is like it helps you with the long game because its ultimate basically lets it heal all of its HP back up. It gives it an all buff and it gives it an HP restoring buff that also like sort of acts like leftovers. And it's a low rank brave tank, so really good for like stalling out. But like because it just took too much damage, even on a resisted hit from like the fire and ice, because it's a fire attribute, it thankfully like magic attacks pierce, so it just took enough damage so like it was easier to break past. But like now that his BB Cubel is down, the opponent just can't play the long game. They basically used all their slots on hyper offense that goes all in, so like now they can't play the long game, while this team basically at least has something to go for the long game with Shielding Soul and all that. Once again, not doing anything. I'm the Lionheart. And now that it finally actually did anything, it was able to take out the Umbral Enma, who was stuck in a corner because of the fire hazards to boot. And that was all done in like high ladder of Yokai Watch 3 official competitive, mind you. Like that was pretty decent team, all things considered, even though it didn't do anything half the time. Like it had other options that played despite like you were basically able to have a game where the yokai were playing into their personalities and their gameplay without it being compromised or unfun or unsatisfying, like you're usually going to have with Slaking, just trying to build around it to make it work. And in most cases, it's just not. You'd be better off using something with an actual ability. Like, if Slaking had a second item slot, that would honestly go a long way, is my theory. And it also helps, like, in Yokai Watch 3 with its 3v3 turn system, like I said, turns are way less valuable in Yokai Watch than they are in Pokemon. I guess that's also because like Ultimate turns basically make it so like as time goes on you have a really strong option, so like one turn gets you closer to being able to hit your opponent super hard if their board is all isn't taken into account. Anyway, that's all I wanted to share for today. Gonna be working on more videos in the future. I hope my audio sounded really good in this, so see ya.